Welcome, movie fans. Thanks for joining us for episode 138 of Reading Between the Reels, the premier podcast of hoping we don't set the atmosphere on fire. If you're a new listener, we're so glad you found us. And if you've been enjoying the show, please like, follow, and subscribe and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify. You can also support the show by posting on your socials and by joining our Facebook group. I'm Craig Dickinson, and I'm joined tonight by Justin Eldon. He's back. We switched him out for Corey. We can only have one of them at a time, apparently.
Yep.
Corey's recovering. But Justin's back, which is awesome. So, Justin, how you doing? What you been watching?
I'm doing well. Hopefully, it has been a saga of constantly changing my podcasting setup to make sure everything works. And if I have good lighting, then I have crappy internet. And if I have good internet, I have bad lighting. Or I'm podcasting from a closet. And I did it. I did some stuff. I got good internet. I got good lighting. But so just nobody move, and we should be fine. What have I been watching? So I'm watching a lot of stuff. So I watched the new Jurassic Park, new air quotes, because it's been out for a bit. Not because I was excited to see it, because I've been disappointed in the last 2 of the movies, / all of them since the first one. So since the 90s, I don't know.
It's been 30 years.
It's been 30 long years. But I felt like I needed to watch it just because. And it was all right. It wasn't spectacular or amazing, but for the most part, it did a pretty good job. I feel like they took their time. There are very long scenes, stuff that's drawn out, and it felt a little weird because you're not used to that in modern movies. But I mean, that's about it. It was all right. There wasn't really any surprises. Craig and I talked about this earlier in the week, and he made the comment that they just need to take the kids out of the Jurassic Park movies.
Completely.
I don't want... it's not fun to watch that baggage.
Not anymore. We've done it.
Yeah, we've done it enough. Let's give us something new. I wasn't super happy with the premise of this one. I didn't think was all that cool. Just the we got mutated left behind monsters, the Island of Misfit Toys situation.
Yeah.
I didn't. It was all right. But that's pretty much how I describe all of the Jurassic Parks since the first one. What else did I watch? I watched Altered Carbon on Netflix. Came out 6 years ago or so. It has 2 seasons. The first season is fantastic. I've seen it before. I went back and did a rewatch. Altered Carbon. It's basically dang it, where's Corey? It's a lot like Blade Runner.
You just summoned him.
Yeah, it's Blade Runner, very much in the aesthetic, as well as just I guess in the aesthetic. But the idea is that your body is completely replaceable. Who you are is saved to a little hard drive in your neck.
Oh, okay.
And if you have the money, you can buy new skins. Or sleeves is what they call them, and then you can insert yourself into, new bodies. And some people have worked the system to live hundreds of years if you're wealthy enough.
Interesting.
If you're not wealthy, you might get put into whatever sleeve they have on hand, and some 9-year-old girl got put into a 40-year-old body of some crackhead or something. And anyway, it's fun. It's interesting. Good action. Good dialogue.
Yeah.
Not for kids.
Doesn't sound like it would be, for numerous reasons.
Yes.
Even just thematically, but I can imagine the various and sundry things they might do with that. Sounds
sundry,
cool, though.
Nice word.
I mean...
Yeah, it's well done. I think up until Game of Thrones, it was the most expensive show per episode ever. And then Game of Thrones beat it out. But it's super high production value. Really, really well done.
Okay.
Yeah.
I may have to check that out sometime, especially because, Blade Runner.
Yeah, it feels like there's even a couple scenes the scene in Blade Runner where they're testing if they're replicant or not. What is...
Yeah, the Voight comp tests.
The Voight comp test. And there's even a scene in Altered Carbon where I'm okay, this is clearly inspired by Blade Runner. The way the room is set up, the way the questions are happening. But it seems like more of an homage than a knockoff. I liked it.
Nice.
What have you been watching?
Well, I, over the last, week or so rewatched all of the John Wick movies. They were on sale on 4K, and I needed to like experience John Wick in 4K on my new TV and my new system, and so I put in the first
He's
one.
got such a cool TV.
It's cool. I like it a lot, and I just love John Wick. I love the series. I love the character, and I've seen him enough where I know what's going to happen, but not enough that it feels repetitive, and it doesn't feel like, oh yeah, I know this, and I'm bored. Like I'm never bored as a one. Plus, I think there's just those movies have great replay value. And then I also wanted to. I'd only seen Ballerina once, and you haven't seen that one, right? That's the Anna de Armas
I
one.
have not.
So it's a
Craig has inspired me to like go back and rewatch because he has not stopped talking about John Wick recently.
I've just
so I've
enjoyed
gone
so
back
much.
and I've like started to rewatch them.
Yeah.
But I might have to fit Ballerina in this time.
So because Ballerina, if you guys don't know, happens during John Wick Chapter 3. And I tried as much as I could to try and just fit that movie in between. It doesn't really work that way. There are some repetitive scenes and the timeline's a little funky, but there's nothing that breaks canon or anything like that. But I think also it breaks up the rhythm of Chapter 3 in a way that I would prefer just to watch Chapter 3 all the way through and then watch Ballerina and then do Chapter 4. But Ballerina is a good addition. It's fun. It definitely fits with the series.
So you like stopped Chapter 3 mid movie to watch Ballerina? Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that'd be weird.
Yeah, the scene, I think I meant to mention this off mic, but the scene where John gets his ticket punched, i.e. gets, the branding thing happens on his back, and then he goes off to Casablanca. Like at that point, we basically that's where Ballerina starts. We actually get to see that scene again, and then when he leaves that room after having the branding thing, like he meets her for the first time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of follow-up in that, and then he shows up later in the film. But that part is actually after he cuts off his finger and is reinstated as part of the high table.
I was really hoping. Okay, so for like people out there that also play video games and watch movies, I was really, really hoping that John Wick was going to have like a secret Assassin's Creed tie-in because it feels very much like Assassin's Creed, and part of the lore of Assassin's Creed is like the assassins have to cut off their finger to like join the club, more or less. So when he cuts off his finger, I'm just like, oh, it's happening, Assassin's Creed. Here we go. It's they've been building this up for forever, and then nothing.
No.
But that's my headcanon. I want to believe that.
It could still work. It didn't break canon.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Someone out there is going to tell me I'm wrong because I'm not like I've played the Assassin's Creed games, but I'm not like super into the lore. I more played it because I really like history, and some of them deal with some cool historical times. Anyway, so maybe it doesn't work with the lore completely. I don't know.
Yeah.
Someone correct me.
Well, because it seemed in that movie at least that was him like making the sacrifice of, it's his wedding ring, and it's that finger specifically, right? That's very personal to him. He also mentions, I want to live to remember her and all that stuff. But then you get to Chapter 4 and Clancy Brown shows up, and he also is missing like half of his finger. So apparently this is a fairly regular occurrence.
Oh, does he not cut off all of his finger, or is just part of it?
I think it's like
I don't remember.
two
I've only seen
knuckles,
that movie
maybe.
once.
I don't know.
Two knuckles.
I don't know. I'm not a biologist or a botanist or I don't know.
I don't think
medical
botanist.
person.
I don't think that's
I don't think that's right.
not a botanist. No.
I'm also not a botanist. I don't know.
So I started the rewatch of it, and I love John Wick 1. Sorry, Craig, you've heard it so many times.
No, that's good.
I love John Wick 1. I love the mystery behind it. And then the rest of them, I guess I liked it because of the mystery. Like the whole thing's an enigma. And then the other movies like unravel that mystery, and I don't like that. And I'm doing a rewatch so I can appreciate the movies more, and I'm going through it trying to like it for a different reason. And there's a lot of good stuff there. There's a lot of good reasons to like it, and not just sad that they're ruining the mystery. So I'm gonna watch it again, and I'm gonna try and like it more than the first time because I just feel like those get so overhyped. And Keanu Reeves is not a good actor. Like I can say that pretty
No,
confidently.
he's not.
And I feel like in the second one they realized that, and they like made that part of his character because there's a couple of references where they're like, a man of few words. Just like, no, I just think he probably sucked at the line delivery, and they're like, oh, let's cut that and just have him walk away mysteriously instead.
Yeah.
I love Keanu Reeves. Like, he seems like a super good dude.
He absolutely
I love
does.
a lot of his movies.
Yeah.
I'm not like dissing him. I just think he has a role to play, and it's a very small role, and he doesn't have a lot of range, or at least he doesn't get a chance to display that range.
Yeah, no, he was Ted for me for the longest time. That's the first thing I ever saw him in, and he's perfectly cast as Ted in Bill and Ted.
I feel like that would be hard to see him as John Wick or Neo after having him be Ted.
He got sent to military school and turned into John Wick. That's one theory.
Straighten him right out.
There you go. Major birdwalk, as Corey would say. But no, my favorite actual acting performance of his, the one where he actually, I think I mentioned this off mic too, is in Something's Gotta Give. Like, he is genuinely good in that role, and like out of nowhere, I remember seeing that he was going to be like, why? And like, no, he's charismatic and natural, and maybe that's the director.
What year did that come at?
Oh, you were looking early 2000s.
Because he was also in
post Matrix. So,
what's the one? It's like a river house, boat house, glass house,
Lake House, I think.
Lake House. There we go.
Is that like the
One of
is that
those
the time
houses.
travel one, or is that a different one? It's got Sandra
I
Bullock in
don't-
it. There's a couple of them that he's in with her.
I don't think it's a time. I don't know.
I
don't
think that
watch
might be the
those
time
types of
travel
movies.
one. Anyway,
But I do think, yeah, it's almost like after the Matrix, they're like, let's see what this guy can do, and then they put him in a bunch of different things, and then he just got put right back into the action roles all the time.
yeah. Anywho, we love you, Keanu. Come on the show.
Yeah, people
We'll chat about it.
must like him enough to keep casting him.
Again, he seems like a really genuinely cool dude.
Yeah.
So, there you go. You know who else is a cool dude? Christopher Nolan, but for different reasons.
Yeah, I met him. He's great. That's not true. I have not met him.
Tonight we're wrapping up our Christopher Nolan series, which is kind of crazy to say, with the second half of our breakdown of Oppenheimer. And last time we did this, we kind of finished off with quotes, and Corey and I kind of went back and forth on quite a few quotes. And Justin, I want to see if you had any quotes from the movie that you wanted to share before we talk about body language and stuff.
Yes. So here's the thing, though. I didn't listen to our last episode.
What happened?
I just don't want to falsely inflate our numbers, you know? Like, I want it to be genuine. I want all three of our watches on YouTube to like be genuine.
We're on YouTube, guys.
It's my mom, it's Craig, and it's probably my grandma. Like, that's all we got
I
here.
think
Just
my
kidding.
daughter might be on some of that stuff too.
Oh, okay. 4.
There you go.
Wow, we're up to 4 now. So that is to say, I didn't listen to the last episode. I might repeat.
It's
what one
fine.
of you guys
Go for
said. Well, normally I feel like I would go for like the funny quotes, and there are a fair amount of like funny moments in this film. There's also a lot of depth, and the quote I wanted to go with that I really enjoyed was "Genius is no guarantee of wisdom."
Ooh.
Which I feel like kind of encapsulates what this movie is, because you have Oppenheimer, who is, brilliant, and he knows it. He's not humble about it. But his brilliance is like getting him into a lot of trouble. Like, he is trying to 4D chess everything, or 3D chess everything. What's the phrase? Is it 4D chess? Whatever. He's trying to outsmart
3D chess is
everybody.
normal, yeah.
But while he understands science, he doesn't always understand politics. Like, he's very much it's more, he says it, theory only gets you so far. And like, his scientific theory does not work in the real world, and he's a genius, but he doesn't always have wisdom. Like I think eventually he has character growth, and he kind of shows some remorse about, quite a bit of remorse. I feel like that's a lot of the movie, him like regretting what he did, but he didn't super have a choice. Like, he's a genius, but he didn't have like the wisdom to stop what was happening. Or if he did, he eventually, he decided like, no one should have this power, but if we don't have it, the Nazis are going to have it. So we might as well, go for it. And it really, it almost like shadows what Strauss and Oppenheimer go through as well, because Strauss is not a genius, but he seems at least like politically wise and kind of street smart.
For sure.
And they're playing that dance the entire time. And, Oppenheimer ends up winning out. I just like that one. That's a good overall quote, I think, for everyday life. Genius in one area does not necessarily mean genius in another, which I think is often overlooked.
Yeah, no, that's a great quote, and we did not cover that one, so it's perfect for that. Okay. Well, I have one more, and it's definitely tied to body language and facial expression, so I'm gonna just kind of gently transition us down there.
Segue.
So I love Matt Damon in this movie so much.
Yeah.
He's it's a very different role for him, because usually he's pretty likable, and he's very gruff in this in a lot of ways, and
but he's still likable somehow.
He is. It's both. It's a weird thing, but my favorite moment is in the trailer too, although you get the G-rated version in the trailer, and I'll do the G-rated version here though. But when we see they're doing the whole thing where they're trying to recruit all the scientists, and it's like a montage or whatever, and then they have that one in like that wide shot in the hallway, and it's like a triangle of him and Oppie's in the middle and the other guy's on the other side. And the guy's like, "Why would I do this?" And he just gets so tense, and then he just explodes. He's like, "Why? Why? How about because this is the most important effing thing to ever happen in the history of the world? How about that?" I just love. He's like, it's not the first guy they've recruited. Like, he's been told no a lot.
He is just so fed up. Just like, I don't know.
I love that so much. He just explodes, because he doesn't do that. Mostly he's very measured. Like, he's in control.
Yeah.
Every scene that he's in, it's like, yep. Sure.
I feel like that happens a lot as a teacher. First period with your students, you get asked a question and you have a very measured response. And then by 8th period, when you've already gotten that question 7 times prior, that poor student doesn't know you've already gotten that question 7 times. So you're just kind of like, what the heck? Oh, wait. Sorry, this is your first time. I've been doing this all day.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's still one of my favorite moments. It still makes me laugh. And also because it's a relief. And mentioned that there's a lot of funny lines in this movie. And that's not really a funny line, but it is a moment of levity to a degree, because we're allowed to be frustrated at that guy too. It was like, because we know the big picture. We're like, we have to win the war, buddy. Like, it's going to inconvenience you for a little bit. Like, we need you. Get your butt over there and do it.
Yeah.
So.
And it must have been so frustrating too, because like World War II, at least the way history remembers it, that's like the height of American patriotism. Like, people were all for America. So I feel like Leslie Groves is trying to leverage that to get things done. And a lot of these scientists are probably not buying the propaganda that America was selling at that time. So they're probably not for it. So he's probably used to working with like very pro-American people. Yeah. And the scientists are intellectual enough to kind of like see past all the marketing, and it probably just drives him nuts. He's probably, he's used to working with like career military folk and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was thinking, that's good for context, because it's after Pearl Harbor, but not that much after Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. You had to be pretty pro-America at that time. Like, you're in the middle of a world war. You need to get people mobilized, get people, I guess, excited to win that war.
Yeah. Other body language, facial expression things. The wide eyes, like all the time. Like, Cillian Murphy's eyes, like, rarely close in this. There's just a lot of like 1,000-yard stares in this, and he just bug-eyed like continually, trying to just take it all in.
Anytime he was in, like, we've talked about him several times in this Nolan series, like in The Dark Knight as well as Dunkirk. Like, he was in both of those. And I think in Dunkirk we mentioned how he has like a PTSD look. Like, he was cast as that guy who just got out of the battle and was like still like recovering mentally. And he gives a good PTSD look, and that's what he is this entire movie. He just looks like mortified of just what is happening, what could happen. He seems very stressed. Yeah. Like, someone get that man a cigarette. Like, he needs to take a load off.
For sure.
But he does like a fantastic job. He's really, like, body language wise, he's really restrained in his movements, and he's also very, what's the word, like closed off. Like his body language kind of shows he is not an open person.
No.
He like folds his arms a lot. His shoulders are kind of together. He crosses his legs. Like he does not look very approachable. Yet when he's talking about something scientific, he will like stand up straight and he'll like put his hand on his hips and he's very confident. But you put him in a room with a bunch of politicians and all of a sudden he's like, he shrinks, like physically almost. And yeah, I love him. He's a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
If you like him too, like holy cow, what is that show? Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders. It's on my list. Yeah, I've not seen
Great
it.
show. He does a good job.
Yeah. Just a couple other things that I had. It still strikes me every time I see it. The first time, well, I guess they met each other before, but when Strauss sees Oppenheimer at Princeton, the way he jogs out to meet him, where he just like basically like he's very blatantly is like super eager and like playing his hands here. Like, this is like, I definitely want you here. Like, this is your house. All the things about, and then to see him get shut down from that, like it's pretty brutal.
Yeah, because he's I guess Strauss is trying to empathize with Oppenheimer in terms of like, oh yeah, we both came from rough backgrounds, and Oppenheimer's like, nah,
no,
not having it.
No.
Especially as Strauss is trying to, like, right in that scene, he tries to connect with Oppenheimer, right?
Yeah.
And then Oppenheimer kind of fires back.
This is the self-made
I think intentionally,
man
like mispronouncing his name too.
Yeah.
Kind of like, look, you're kind of ashamed of who you are. You're trying to rebrand yourself, and like, he's not going to have it. He sees through it. Do you think Oppenheimer knew that Strauss was kind of setting him up from the beginning to take a fall?
I mean, I think that he saw through Strauss pretty quickly. I think that whole thing with recruiting Oppenheimer is very much, it's like, it's supposed to be a feather in Strauss's cap. Like, that's why Oppenheimer is there, so that he can say, I have this guy. It wasn't about doing anything nice for Oppenheimer, for making an opportunity for him. It was very much like, these are the guys, like, I've already got Einstein, I'm collecting scientists. You know, he's trying to be, he's a wannabe. He's trying to, you know, be in this situation, even though he's a lowly salesman, shoe salesman. He's always just reaching for, you know, acceptance in that community, but he's not one of them.
He's a politician, not a scientist. They're a different breed.
Yeah.
So still on body language, I feel like, sorry, I'm going to cheat and look it up. I don't remember.
You're fine.
What's Emily Blunt. I didn't even look it up. I didn't get to the page yet. I remembered.
She's so good.
Emily Blunt. Yeah, it is super weird because she's a pretty attractive actress, and they cast her as someone that's not attractive. And I mean, she's not ugly, but like, you know, they housewife her. Sorry, housewives. I don't mean it like that.
No,
she's just very plain.
Yeah.
And she like steals every scene she's in. Like, I'm legitimately stressed when she's in a scene.
Yeah.
Because she's in between the politicians and the scientists, and she kind of like calls the bullcrap when she sees the bullcrap. And you can tell that everyone's like, that lady's crazy.
Yeah.
But also, she might be right in some circumstances. Like, she's a good grounding force for both sides. Yeah. And yeah, she just does a fantastic job. Kind of a weird casting though. I'm not like, she did really well. Yeah. But in terms of like, why would you get?
So I have a theory on this. I just thought of this as you're going. So
like what?
Well, because
very attractive, but make her plain.
Yeah. So what Kitty, right? Is that her name? Yeah.
Kitty. Yeah.
Kitty Oppenheimer. So she was a scientist too. Like, she's highly intelligent, and she is basically, for lack of a better word, like neutering herself so that she can like just be this like housewife. That's not her natural role at all, right? Like, they give up the kid for a little while and all the things. So it kind of makes sense that you're doing this square peg in a round hole thing with like, let's cast this beautiful, alluring actress as kind of this. We're gonna kind of like make her more homely and all of this stuff, and she's playing below her means in a sense, which, you know, that character would have felt that. You know, like, this is, I'm supposed to be up here, and you're making me here. So I like it. Feel like I think maybe even as audience members, we're looking at like, isn't Emily? That's the woman from the other thing. Like, how come she's playing this? That's a little bit beneath her. Like, there's a little bit.
Halpert's wife.
Indeed.
Sorry. I feel like they didn't. Now that you mention that, yeah. So they do introduce her as a scientist and academic, and she obviously struggles with motherhood. Probably some like postpartum. I'm guessing they're hinting at or something.
Yeah.
But they don't really explore that a whole lot beyond those few scenes. I feel like there could have been more exploration on her character, which would I know she was not the focus of the film. It was the bomb and how Oppenheimer kind of dealt with that. But it would have been kind of interesting to see, I guess, why and how it affected her to like fit in that role. Like, or I guess she was like pushed into that role.
Well, yeah, she has that, and then there's the whole Jean Tatlock angle that she's having to deal with all of that stuff too, where she's really put upon in this movie quite a bit.
Yeah.
And yet she sticks with him and is on his side, even at the end. She's like, I'm not shaking that dude's hand. Like, that's got nothing to do with her. That's totally,
that was awesome.
She's taken, her husband's side on that and is stronger in that moment than he is.
Yeah, I loved how she like dressed him down for like, you shook his hand.
Yeah.
And then, you get the payoff later of like, she just does not.
It's
to us, that's
she knows
20, 30 minutes later.
Yeah.
But to them, what is that? That's probably like 20, 30 years later. No, maybe not that much, but 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
And she's just holding that grudge all that time.
Heck yeah, that stare.
Woman scorned.
Well, I gotta say too, like, and I don't think it even got nominated, but the makeup in this film, the aging makeup, is remarkable.
Yeah.
Because you have, especially, I mean, the one we see the most obviously is Oppenheimer. We see him from like in his 20s to in his 80s.
Making him look like he's in his 20s. I mean, it's a little bit of a stretch, but it kind of works.
It's not quite Joaquin Phoenix and Napoleon, but
he looks like a 20-year-old that just
it's because of the hair,
probably
right?
smoked too much or something.
He's got the big poofy hair, and and then by the end it's much thinner and it's gray, and they got the wrinkles around the eyes and stuff like that. And they do Emily Blunt, same kind of deal. The thing that I don't think I noticed before this viewing is how much Downey's hairline changes, because it's already way shorter and farther and thin, and his hair's much thinner, and then like he's got the farther back hairline than normally we're used to seeing. I mean, obviously, he's Iron Man, like we've seen him just be suave and all this stuff. But so it starts already back here, and then farther back, I'm pointing with my hand as on the video. We see him later, like in the congressional hearings and stuff, and his hair's even receded even more. Yeah. So there is some very, if you're looking for it, some probably works on a subconscious level, but some very discernible aging that's happening with these characters based on the makeup. It's like real subtle, but effective.
Yeah, I wrote that down too. Like I feel like the makeup was done really well. And I wonder if in casting, if they look at the actors knowing, okay, this is going to span several decades, let's try and get actors that we could age and de-age kind of on a whim. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they did a fantastic job. Some movies I think really overdo it, or like, I guess, go too far on how much people change over the years, like physically, like people change and wrinkles and you get weird spots and bumps, but like your basic facial features stay the same. And I feel like they kind of kept it low key. I was a little disappointed at the end, when he's getting his award, they're doing the handshakes. Yeah. And as Einstein said, like you get your salmon and potato salad or whatever. Like during that scene, I think some of the makeup looked a little too much, especially like people's hair. Mm-hmm. Like it looked a little fake, and I'm being nitpicky because it's a Nolan movie and there's like hardly anything to complain about. But a little bit there, I was like, he's kind of taking me out of it. Especially with, what character was it? One of the characters, I thought his hair looked particularly fake. Yeah. It was the gentleman that was kind of always opposing Oppenheimer and wanted to do the hydrogen bomb all the time.
The guy whose hand he showed?
Who was that?
Teller.
Yeah. Yeah, Teller. There you go. Yeah, Teller looked a little like he didn't.
Yeah, I get that.
Didn't look great.
Well, and the Downey stuff is almost exclusively, or is it exclusively in black and white? It's a little easier to hide that stuff than it is in a color scene.
There's a couple scenes like when they're around like that dinner table where he has to move the flowers. That one's in color, and then when he's at the like when he first meets Oppenheimer, it's in color. Conversations with Einstein, color.
Yeah, a few things.
Did we see Leslie Groves age up? I wonder when did Leslie Groves die in real life?
Well, yeah, because we saw him at the security hearing.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the very last scene where they're awarding Oppenheimer.
I don't think he's in that scene.
You know what's crazy? Sorry, if you don't live where we live, this isn't going to mean anything to you. But there's an area over here, like a housing community called Leslie Groves. And before I'd read this book and seen this movie, I thought it was called Leslie Groves because before they built the housing development, it was like a grove or something. And then when I read this book, I was like, oh, holy crap, that's a dude. And I'm a history teacher, probably should have known that. Didn't know that. At least didn't make that connection.
Is that why Leslie Street is Leslie? Is it named
after
probably.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
we live here.
Corey mentioned that last week that we're 30 minutes from Hanford, so there's quite a bit of history.
I think they mentioned Hanford a couple times. I'm like, hey, I know that.
That's us. That's
my town wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Hanford, probably.
One thing I also want to mention, just is kind of as we wrap this part, is the very specific look of Oppenheimer that they nail with the pork pie hat and the pipe and like. I mean, Cillian Murphy already looked like Oppenheimer quite a bit, but with him that thin and with that, essentially that's kind of his uniform. Like he changed out of the military uniform into that. That's kind of his go-to look.
Yeah, I like to. There is that very short scene where he is wearing a military uniform, and the other scientist is just like, no, like that. You are not that.
Mm-mm.
Do not be them. Do not act like them. And I like that. That was, I don't know, like impactful because I feel like Oppenheimer is not one to like change who he is for someone else. And maybe it's because he learned that lesson early on, at least the film version of him. And he just, he goes back to looking like a civilian, looking like a scientist. And that's when he picks up the iconic pipe and hat. Man, nails that look.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if did he lose weight for this role? I know he's kind of a thin dude to begin with.
I would assume so because he's really thin in this movie.
Yeah, he's just a little guy.
Like compared to what we've seen him in, like say, Inception. Like he's not fat, but he's not rail thin like he is here.
Yeah, he's pretty average.
Yeah, Scarecrow's pretty thin, but anywho. Moving on to setting the design. One thing that's really cool about this is how much of this they filmed on location, like actual location. Mm-hmm. So they don't film like in Los Alamos, but they're at Ghost Ranch, which is in New Mexico. So they're right around the corner from that. And they're filming in the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton. And so that's actually happening there. And then, on campus in University of California, Berkeley, and in Pasadena around there as well. And then the original cabin in Los Alamos is actually filmed. That's where they go into the cabin. Like that's the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of that stuff that's really cool. That's in the extra features for this film, which I highly recommend looking at. There's some really cool documentaries on this, both the digital and the disc. We did talk a little bit about in the last episode of why you should buy the physical copy of this, because a lot of this is filmed in IMAX. And you don't get those IMAX scenes when you watch it digitally. They don't.
Audience doesn't know this, but Craig actually has stock in the company that creates discs for like Blu-ray. So he just continually tries to promote physical media
I love physical media so much.
Yeah, he does love physical media. Well, okay,
it's better.
so
it's just better, Justin.
It is better, but here's the thing, and I won't watch a movie if I have to physically put it in my DVD player or Blu-ray player.
Yeah.
I just won't do it.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know if my Blu-ray player is like plugged in right now, which is sad.
Yeah.
But I'm just that lazy. Sorry.
Yeah. I remember when I first knew you said something that affected me deeply, and it was that if I don't own a movie digitally, it's like I don't own it.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, now I have to own all these digital. I want to be able to watch it on the TV that's not hooked up to the Blu-ray player.
Yeah, I have
What if
a
I don't want to watch
giant
it real
binder of all my DVDs. Like,
Yeah.
at one point, I decided I don't need all these DVD Blu-ray cases, and I threw them all out, and I sincerely regret that decision. But I have probably 200 movies in that huge binder.
Yeah.
And honestly, I look through it once every 2 years, and I'll be like, "Oh, crazy! I didn't know I had that movie. I just bought that digitally. Shoot, dang."
No.
Yeah,
I have a spreadsheet of all my movies, and I recently went through and put where they are as far as whether they're Fandango at home or they're disc or they're on Apple or whatever. So
I
yeah.
almost texted you the other day because I was going to watch John Wick 2, and which I didn't own at the time, which I might have sailed some high seas to watch that. But I almost texted you and asked you, "Hey, Craig, can you explain to me Movies Anywhere again?"
Oh, I love Movies Anywhere.
I almost, and then I'm like, nah, I'm not going to let him win. He's not going to win this one.
Well, see, Movies Anywhere wouldn't have the John Wick movies anyway because those are Summit. And
see, this is why I can't do Movies Anywhere. Too confusing.
The first movie is a Summit movie, and then Lionsgate bought Summit, so they're all Lionsgate movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, nerd.
Fandango at home.
Craig the other day is like, what's your favorite movie studio? I think mine's Warner Brothers. My dude, like, you talk to me like I have a podcast about movies. Like, I don't know.
I do. I love Warner
I don't
Brothers.
keep track of what studio produces what.
DC, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter.
I mean,
all the classics. So many classics.
Sure, that sounds good. I don't know. I don't pay attention to movie studios. I should, but
you will. You will more. We'll make it happen.
No, I won't. No.
So, speaking of physical media, let's talk about set decoration and all the stuff that they
talk about
set up in there. I can't help but look at the classrooms as a teacher and be like, interesting. The way he has, he's got his circle of chairs instead of rows. I could not do that in my particular class with 8th graders, but
no,
you could do that when they're graduate students.
I'm always so my wife teaches at the community college here, and I'm always so jealous of the things that she gets to do as a teacher of adults over teacher of children. I'm like, oh man, that sounds cool. That would never work in my classroom because anyway, I love my job, but holy crap, I am jealous of like higher education and what they can do and teach and discuss. So the classrooms felt, like actual classrooms, I would assume in that age. In Los Alamos, I feel like a lot of it was everything was very sparsely decorated. Like you could tell everyone was like living there temporarily, and like the whole aesthetic kind of gave off that vibe. Even to the point where like Oppenheimer in his own home didn't notice that there wasn't a kitchen.
We'll have to take care of that. Yeah. Amazing. How did you miss that?
No kitchen. Yeah, how would you miss that?
How do we
I wonder
eat?
what the background. Yeah, I wonder what the background is about that. I wonder if like it legitimately did not have a kitchen. I should look into that. But the physical surroundings of the people really matched what they were. Like you look at where Strauss was in a lot of those black and white scenes, like very decadently decorated and like full of comforts and stuff. And then you get to anywhere Oppenheimer is, and it seems just like that is not his priority. He does not care about stuff at any point.
No. I mean, witness him like just throwing glass at the floor to like, figure some science stuff out.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of also like set decoration and like props too, I love that they had the glass bowl full of marbles.
I love that so much.
But I'm like, to a room full of incredibly intelligent scientists, that would be very condescending to like have such a visual aid like that. To be like, all right, guys, let me show you. I'm going to put some marbles in a bowl. It's a physical representation because you're too stupid to figure it out.
Oh my
gosh!
But
as an audience member, as a stupid audience member, I'm like, thank you. I like the visual aid. Thank you, sir.
That's so true. I hadn't thought of that. But yes, that's a thing. That's totally.
I tend to be hyper aware of when movies are like dropping exposition or like giving stuff to the audience.
Yeah.
And,
like
or like
megatons. That was pretty funny. That's another one, right? Like let's take a look at this boat being exploded, and like this is how many pounds of dynamite it was. And like 1,000,
Yep.
so megatons. Then this is how we came up with the term.
There was one scene where Strauss introduced. No, who was it? Oppenheimer introduces a scientist to Strauss, but he like says his whole title and his like background and his job performance in his career, and it's just like Strauss would have already known that 30 times over. But thank you for saying that for the audience.
Yeah.
But if I was Strauss, I'd be like, "What the f you doing, man? Like, I know this better than you do. Shut up."
Yeah.
So the movie can happen.
Exactly. One thing I also really like, the Q clearance hearing room is incredibly claustrophobic because of what they did. Like, that is such an effective set where you get these like 3 little wooden tables and somehow there's a couch in there as well in the background. And it's like, what's basically a closet. And like, it really works as, because they put us a lot of times we get to see it from Oppenheimer's point of view, like how crowded it is in there and how close those guys are that are just hammering him with questions. Like, I'm physically uncomfortable watching the movie, and I'm not even in it.
Well, and I liked it too when they were showing them setting up that scene. The binders that they gave to, I guess the security clearance team. What was their name? I forget. Like the group of people. Like,
the Q clearance.
Yeah, like grilling Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
they had like binders of information, whereas his defense had like 2 or 3 pieces of paper. Like, there was no intention
it's top secret.
of even. Yeah, they didn't even make it look fair, like in any way, shape, or form, which was really interesting. And then, it was just a very uncomfortable room. And then the fellow in there that was kind of grilling him, he plays John Connor in that really bad Terminator movie. What's that guy's? What's that actor's name?
There's so. Oh yeah, I'm trying. Can't remember off the top of my head. Jason. Is it Jason? I'm getting there. Sorry, audience, I'm getting there. Yes, he's been in lots of stuff. He played Jerry West in the
Jason Clarke.
Jason Clarke, there it is. Thank you, Roger Robb. Yeah, that's who he plays. Yeah,
he plays Roger Robb. That guy, something about his facial structure. He's got like the tight curls in his hair, and then like the piercing blue eyes. Yep. Maybe it is just me, but something about like curly-haired, blue-eyed people terrify me. Like, I'm not even being joking. Like, I've always been like scared of those types of people. And he moves in when he's interviewing Oppenheimer, and he like leans in real close and like, I mean, he's very Predator-like in the way he is going after Oppenheimer, and it's a little scary. And they kind of start a yelling match right there, and that's really the only time I think Oppenheimer gets like riled up in that whole interaction, is when Jason Clarke, Roger Robb, is interviewing him, and it gets tense.
Yeah, he's pretty passive in that. He kind of just takes it on the chin, which it probably comes from the guilt of what he's done, or feeling the guilt of what he's done, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's intentional. Like, it's a masochist move, right? Where he's
big time.
He's taking his beatings of I deserve this type thing. You guys probably already talked about this, but speaking of actors, holy cow! Like, star-studded cast.
Yeah,
they got everybody.
Yeah, even Huey.
Huey? Oh yeah, Huey. Yeah, from The Boys.
Jack Wood.
That guy.
No, Rami
like, there's
Malek.
even a couple actors in here that, like, they have super small roles, and you're like,
Casey Affleck.
That's the dude. Casey Affleck.
Yeah, Casey Affleck plays Boris Pash. He's the guy who, so Oppenheimer goes in to kind of try and let them know that some information's being passed, possibly to the Russians from his neighbor or whatever, but not name his neighbor. He's Matt Damon tells us later that he went over to Russia and fought against the Bolsheviks and all that stuff. He's brutal.
Right. Yeah, that guy. He was he wanted to like interrogate him in the, what did he say? Interrogate him in the Russian manner. I think was the line.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know what that super means, but it sounds cool. Sounds terrifying. Yeah, there's just a ton of.
No, I'm just looking through here. Who we talked about? Obviously, talked about Downey, who won the Oscar for Best Supporting. Cillian Murphy won for Best Actor. Emily Blunt was nominated for Best Actress. Matt Damon's great in this. Florence Pugh, I think, is pretty good in this.
Yeah. It's weird seeing her without an accent because I feel like
Yes.
in everything else I've seen her in, she has the Russian accent in the Marvel movies, and then she's in that movie. It's with Timothée Chalamet where he's a king. It's a really good movie. I forget what it's called.
Not Dune.
Anyway, she's
they're
got-
also in that movie together, but that's
Oh yeah, she's in it for like
Dune Part
5
2.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Josh Hartnett's in this. He's really good in this as well. It's nice to see Josh Hartnett back in a big time movie.
Well, the movie's called The King. They
Okay.
said it's about a king.
Well,
It's
there you
called
go.
The King.
That makes sense.
It's good. It's a good movie.
Yeah. Benny Safdie is the one who plays Edward Teller, who has a pretty big role as, the guy who keeps pushing the hydrogen bomb, and then he's the guy who doesn't shake his hand, or he shakes his hand, even though he kind of testifies against.
Yeah, what else
Oppenheimer.
is he in? I could not figure him out. He looked so familiar. Okay, I'm looking. He's in
Yeah.
Uncut Gems. Okay, I don't remember him in that.
David Dismalchin. I just wanted to say David Dismalchin because it's fun to say his last name. He plays William Borden. He's the guy who puts all the findings together. Polka Dot Man.
Oh yeah, This is the first role that I don't think he was a complete weirdo in.
No, he's very normal in this.
Because he's Polka Dot Man, and he's also in The Dark Knight.
Yep. In
Where
the
he's
Ant-Man
kind of
movies.
Yeah, and he's creepy in all of these, and then he is also in Blade Runner 2049,
Yes.
where he gets like
Blade Runner twice.
weirdly kill. I don't know
Yeah.
what happens to him in that movie, the way he dies, but it doesn't look pretty. And
He's
I watch
in,
that scene always, and I'm like, what happened with his neck?
He's in Dune Part 1 because they're both Denis Villeneuve movies. He
Is
likes
he
to
in
use a lot.
Dune Part 1?
Yeah, he plays.
He is in Dune
he plays
Part 1.
Peter
Yeah, that's
DeVries. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the first
the
time he hasn't
Mentat.
been creepy. Good for him for not being creepy.
Yeah. Just keep going through here. Yeah. David Krumholtz is great. He plays Robbie. He's the one that, gives him a little orange and tells him to take off the uniform. Matthew Modine's in this. Alden Ehrenreich is in this and has a very small role. Doesn't even have a name.
Doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Young Han Solo. No name.
Sorry, I say this every single time we do Nolan movies, but like, the dude knows casting, and I mean, to be fair, he recycles like the same 5 actors.
Yeah.
But like in all of these movies, in all of Nolan's movies, everyone just seems so perfectly cast, and there's never a weak point in terms of actors. Like they're all pulling their own weight. Like we talk about Gangs of New York, like. That movie's amazing, and then everyone's like, oh, except for Cameron Diaz. Like, there's no Cameron Diaz in any of these Nolan movies
Yeah, I mean,
that is letting
Katie
everyone
Holmes,
down.
Katie Holmes. Batman Begins. Yeah.
Oh, and then
she's the Rachel Dawes
and
character.
then Gyllenhaal, both Rachel Dawes
Yeah.
characters. Dang it, Craig!
Sorry.
Freaking dog face over there.
On
I hate her more than Beth.
Wow.
Stupid
That
Beth and
Yellowstone.
Stupid
Love her
Yellowstone
so much. Great character, great actress, Kelly Riley. I very famously did not recognize Gary Oldman when I first saw this movie, and then I saw that he was in the movie, and I was like, where was he? He plays Truman. They had like a day, and he fit him in, and he's great in this. In the 5 minutes that he's in this movie,
That for me, that's kind of Gary Oldman's thing, though.
Yeah.
Is I never
disappear.
I never knew Gary. Oh, I knew eventually, but like Gary Oldman as Commissioner Gordon, it took me a long time to be like, oh, it's that guy.
Yeah.
And then Gary Oldman as Sirius Black in the Harry Potter movies, I was like, what?
Doing those at the same time, yeah.
I can't recognize that guy for whatever reason. He's a good actor. Why isn't that guy won more awards?
No doubt. I mentioned this on an earlier show. I don't think you were on this one. When we had Jeff and Pam on, and we were just talking about. I had just recently seen True Romance. I don't know if you've seen that. It's Christian Slater, Patricia Arquette. It's written by
Sounds
Quentin
like
Tarantino.
a movie I would not want to watch.
Yeah, no, it's pre Reservoir Dogs, so it's before Tarantino directs, but it's written by him, and it feels like a Tarantino movie. But it's also directed by Tony Scott, who did Top Gun and some of the films around that era.
Christian Slater. You love Christian Slater.
I don't like Christian Slater. Gary Oldman is in that movie for about 5 minutes, and is amazing, and you wouldn't recognize him. But the cast in that movie is just stupid too. Like Samuel L. Jackson's in that movie, and he dies
Val
also
Kilmer.
really quickly. Val Kilmer plays Elvis, and like he's out of focus the whole time that he's on screen. Val Kilmer's in this movie? How's he in this movie? Or he's over there.
What? Why would you put Val Kilmer in a movie just to put him out of focus?
Because he's Val Kilmer and he's awesome. He just
That's
disappears
not
into the role.
awesome.
He's another guy who disappears into the role.
Anyone could disappear if you put him out of focus.
Yeah.
Like, why would you pay the money for Val Kilmer just to put him out of focus?
Oh, it's got a huge cast, but it ends
Brad
up being
Pitt?
like,
Jeez.
yeah, Brad Pitt's in it. There's one really good. We're totally rabbit trailing, but one really good scene with Dennis Hopper and Christopher Walken. Like, just watch that scene. Like, two masters. It's brilliant. But I didn't really like the movie. Sorry, Jeff. I didn't like the movie.
Or you go up all that brilliant, great actors, blah blah blah. I didn't like the movie.
I didn't like the movie. Not a Christian Slater guy. Sorry.
I don't like romantic movies.
It's not a romantic movie.
Them. It's called True Romance.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not a romantic movie. It's a hyper-violent drug movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like.
Yeah. I dig it.
Yeah. Which fits in line with. I didn't mention. I'm still watching Breaking Bad. I'm finally in season 5.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that next time. I'll be close to getting that finished pretty soon.
We're way off. Yeah, for the audience here, Craig here, self-promoted cinephile, which, okay, that sounds like a gross word, but that means a movie lover. We need a new word for that.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen Breaking Bad.
Yep.
What's going on here?
I have a list.
Greatest-
I'm trying to rectify it. It's really
Greatest
good.
TV show of all time.
It's really good.
Fight me.
I don't know.
Prove me wrong.
I don't know if it's the greatest, but it's really, really, really good.
It's the greatest. What's better than Breaking Bad? We're way off here. We're not even talking about a movie anymore.
So, Oppenheimer,
Yes.
deeply flawed. Getting into the hero's journey.
As a character.
Yeah, as a character.
Yeah.
And they lean into that.
Yep.
Nolan leans into that, which I appreciate. Like, he does not romanticize him at all. Like, the guy was a communist. That's not okay. He was a womanizer, like, repeatedly. Really not okay. You know.
More not okay than communist?
I mean,
How would you rate those? Tell the audience right now, which one's worse, communist or womanizer?
wow. I am not touching that.
Yeah, if
Neither
you want
one
to
of
edit
those-
that out, that's
yeah.
totally fine.
Super arrogant dude. Yeah, you know. Important
I
guy.
mean, if you're that smart, though, I think it would be really hard not to be arrogant.
I get it.
Like, I'm only like 25% smart, and I'm pretty arrogant. Like, imagine being like 90% smart.
Yeah. I mean, there's that line. This is one line that I pulled up for the last time where Oppenheimer says something like, for a humble, or like, it's when Groves hands the coat to Dane DeHaan, and he's like, dry clean this. He's like, if you do that to Lieutenant Colonel, I'd hate to see how you treat a humble a physicist or whatever. And he's like, well, if I meet one, I'll let you know.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Did like that line. Sorry, you were doing Hero's Journey. My bad.
No, that's all
Keep
I had.
going.
Just it's not really a hero's journey at all. It's just like, let's take a look at this guy who is brilliant, and his destiny is to figure out how to make an atomic bomb, and he deeply regrets it at the end.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Okay, so the book that this is based on, it's called Oppenheimer, An American Prometheus, which is like spot
Great
on.
title,
I'm glad in
yeah.
the movie they actually say that line to kind of pay tribute to. But the book spent like so much time, like several years, not even writing, but just researching to make sure that it gets it as historically accurate as possible. And obviously with any drama, like, you're going to fill in some blanks with what might have happened, and you're going to, characterize people a little bit more than they might have been. But I'm grateful that Nolan did not romanticize really any of the characters. Like, there's no hero here. There's no good guy. They're all people, which I think, like, historically, I think we forget that all these people that we look up to and love are, at the end of the day, people. Like, they're deeply flawed people in every case that did really great things. And I feel like Oppenheimer falls in that category. Like, deeply flawed, very intelligent person that did great things and probably had a pretty hard, crappy life because of it. I mean, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? Like,
Right. So us or the Nazis, like you said.
yeah. Do you make this thing and, like, potentially destroy the world, or do you not make this thing and let someone else potentially destroy the world at a higher chance of someone else misusing it? It's like, it's a pretty crappy situation no matter what.
Yeah. We talked about this last. It's not a fun movie. It's
No, it's not. And I think
it's good, but it's not fun.
It's good. I think this might be it's not my favorite Christopher Nolan movie, but it might be his best movie.
Yeah.
In terms of like he has everything going for it that he does for all of his other movies. Like great set, great sound.
Score's amazing.
Acting. The score is so good. It felt like kind of futuristic in a lot of places.
Yeah, it's got a lot of synth in it. We talked about this last time that it starts like especially Oppenheimer's theme. Can you hear the music? That's the name of the track. It starts with violin, and it's kind of romantic and kind of classical, and all of a sudden you just like layers this heavy synth on top of it and just flattens you.
Mm-hmm. And it feels out of place, but it also, because the movie and like and this goes back to like why I think this is his best movie. Again, not my favorite, but his best.
Yeah.
Is it, even though the synth feels futuristic, it's because the themes that this is dealing with, like we're still dealing with this today. There's this podcast that I really like to listen to where this guy goes like deep dives onto historical stuff, and he talks about like the Cold War and like the fear everyone had like on a daily basis of like we could be annihilated at any moment throughout the Cold War. And we haven't really moved on from that, like as a society. Like the problem that Oppenheimer had, that like he just created the ability for the world to destroy themselves. We're still there. Like nothing has changed. We still have the capability to like kill ourselves multiple times over. We just don't think about it as much. Like it's not front and center, but there's nothing stopping that from happening again. I mean, there's not a whole lot of safeguards in place that you just need one crazy dude to, change his mind or get miffed at someone. But so that emotion that like Oppenheimer feels all throughout, you can connect to that character through the emotion. Like even though he lives in a different world in a different time, the emotion and the circumstances, like you can understand that even though he's 70 years in the past, or give or take a decade. And that's why I think, like I said, back to my original point, I think this is his best movie because it is a movie that is going to continue to resonate and continue to be important, regardless of the time. Like 20, 30, 40 years from now, it's still going to be important because these problems are still going to be around. Like he gave fire to man, and we are going to have to deal with that forever. And maybe it's inevitable. Like someone would have done it eventually, but he was the guy that did it.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking about
that was ranty. Sorry.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
I love, like we've transitioned to final thoughts very naturally. The final shot of the film, have all of those. We see just countless nuclear missiles, right? And that's not. I mean, it's a potential future, which makes sense when you're talking about like we're still, we still have this issue in front of us. That's why the synth, all of it fits like thematically. Yes, this issue, this is it's a historical drama, but it's also like very present.
Yeah, because this, I've heard, this is not my original idea. I've heard this before, but like, if you consider, this might get a little dark. Is it more likely that we will never have nuclear war again? Or more likely that at some point we will. Like at some point, we're just not going to go till the end of time,
right? Not
ever having this problem again. Like at some point, we're gonna be in that same situation. And as humanity, as culture, society, like we haven't found a way to fix that yet. And I don't know. I just keep seeing Murphy's like dead stare eyes, and I don't know. It seems so.
Yeah,
I guess like relevant to life. The poor guy, he looks terrified all the time. Sorry, that got weirdly dark. Like,
great.
We're all gonna die.
It's great. So just to recap, well, we talked a little bit about this last episode, but I want to make sure we just hit it all. So this movie won 7 Academy Awards, which, say what you will about the Academy Awards, sometimes there's more stock you put in that stuff than others, but I think this one, when you talk about Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Best Music, Best Cinematography, and then Best Film Editing, especially a movie. Again, Nolan always playing with the time, and you've got the the black and white timeline and the color things happening, interlacing those things. Yeah, and that's part of the reason I wanted to do the movies the way we did them is so that because I think we have seen Nolan building on past successes, right? Learning different things, trying out different things. And then, okay, now that I've got that, I got to this point. Now I'm going to try this, and I'm going to add this and add this and add this. And so I really like what
he
you said
gets
about
bolder every single time. Almost like he's willing to stand up to the studio and be like,
yeah,
I'm like mother effing Christopher Nolan, like try and stop me type thing. I'm gonna do what I want.
I mean, as we're recording this, like the Odyssey is in pre-production and it's in production at this point. There's a trailer out. Supposedly all in IMAX, all of it. Which is, I mean, talk about a bold, crazy thing to do. You know, a lot of people jumped on the 3D thing and all these other things. He was like, no, we're going to make things just big. Big and epic. And, you know, I think I might have mentioned in the show, like, and I'm totally paraphrasing here, but he had said that his goal is to make the best movie of all time. Like, that's his literal goal. And then when someone questioned him, he was like, why would that not be your goal? He's not saying it from a place of arrogance.
I'm going to make an okay movie.
Like, no, I want this to be the best film of all time.
I don't know. The guy that made Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, I don't think he was setting out to make the greatest movie of all time.
No, I mean, there's certain movies that clearly aren't, but like a guy with his reputation at this point, you know. That,
you know what legitimately worries me, though?
What's that?
Nolan has created like banger after banger. Like he hasn't really had a misstep in any of his movies, and he's either gonna die the hero or live long enough to see himself become the villain.
Yeah.
At some point, he's gonna make a crappy movie, and I worry it's just gonna totally ruin his reputation. I don't want it to happen.
So, I like that you said that a lot. I mean, I'm just thinking now, like the next. We've talked a little bit about this before, so it's not a huge spoiler, but like the next filmmaker series we're going to do is Steven Spielberg. And for the most part, Spielberg's record is impeccable, like no flaws. But there's also 1941, which I don't think you've seen, but like that's a massive bomb. That's, you know, John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd. It's a comedy. Yeah. And I've watched it once, and we're not going to watch it for the show because it's not good. And
that was the one that was stuck in like pre-production hell forever, right? Or am I thinking of something else?
I'm sure there was some issues with it, but I mean, this is between Close Encounters and Raiders of the Lost Ark. So he bounces back pretty solidly. Yeah, and then it's from then on. It's like, you know, and I haven't seen West Side Story, but I don't think it's probably up there with his best if I had to, just from what I know about it.
Wait. Okay.
Yeah.
This is embarrassing.
No,
I know Spielberg did West Side Story.
Yeah, the new one with Rachel Zegler.
Oh, the new one. Oh, I thought you meant.
No.
Okay, and not the original. That's 1961.
No, it's a passion project for him because he's like, he wanted to do a musical and the whole thing. Cool. He's Spielberg.
Okay, Spielberg.
He can do what he wants. I mean, I bring this all back to Nolan. Like at a certain point, yes, he's going to make a movie. He's going to most likely make a movie that is so far, up his own butt or whatever that no one's going to tell him no, and he's going to do something silly.
Was that Tenet? Actually, that might have been Tenet. Now that you say that, he was pretty far up his own backside on Tenet.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I love Tenet. It gets better every time I see it. But that's a good point. There's the one where he's just like completely leans into it, and it still was amazing. So maybe he'll never make a bad movie. I don't know.
Listen, Christopher Nolan. Again, Chris, I know you listen to this podcast. If you are gonna make a bad movie, please don't let it be The Odyssey. Please, I'm really excited for that. Don't ruin that one, please. And some of the promotional stuff for that movie already, it worries me a little bit.
There's a few things.
The costume designs.
Some of the casting choices are a little iffy for me, but
yeah, well, mostly Tom Holland.
Well, I mean, I'm not the biggest Zendaya fan.
I am so sick of your Zendaya hate.
There's some controversy about whether or not Lupita Nyong'o is playing. What's her name? Who's the face that launched the Thousand Ships? That lady. What's her name?
Helen
of Troy. Yeah, because
yeah.
And I like Lupita Nyong'o.
I don't know, Craig. What?
I'm just saying, there's some controversy.
What is that controversy, Craig? Which one's worse, communist or womanizer? Which one's worse? Viewers want to know.
viewers.
Leave a comment.
We there's our early.
Don't leave a comment.
There's our early take on the Odyssey, which obviously has not been released yet as of this recording, but we'll come back and talk about that. We'll have to reignite the films of Christopher Nolan and do some analysis of that one after that comes out. But by that time, we'll be knee deep in Spielberg, so who knows? Justin's face now is confused.
I want to be knee deep in Spielberg. That sounds really
I'm mixing
weird.
my metaphors all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't know. You got anything else you want to say about this film?
I don't want to be knee deep in Spielberg. No, first time I saw it, I was like, that's kind of boring. The second time, and maybe that's just with all Nolan films.
Yeah.
It's a masterpiece. I think it's his best film.
Yeah. Did you see it on the big screen?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
I did.
No, I think this is the one that, like, I think all of his movies age really well, and I think using practical effects does that. But this one is the least sci-fi nerdy one. Maybe, let me think. I think it might be the least sci-fi nerdy one because he does very little time play with this one. Like in terms of there's no time travel or black holes or reverse time. Like he just kind of jumps around chronologically. So I think this one will age the best, and it being like a historical drama. People love that crap. Like it's good. It's gonna last. It's gonna last forever.
Yeah.
Like, I do think this is the one he'll be remembered for. Do you ever think he's irritated that this came out the same summer as Barbie, and they continually got like compared to each other?
That is we didn't talk about the Barbenheimer thing. I mean, there was speaking of movie studios, Warner Brothers, who had released most of his movies, from Insomnia, and does well in Insomnia, and that's why he gets Batman. Up until this one, and then the whole day and same day release of movie theaters and streaming for Tenet, like during COVID, like that was that's the last straw. I'm not doing this anymore, and so he moves to Universal. That's where Oppenheimer is made, and that's where the Odyssey's be made. So Barbie, long story short, Barbie is a Warner Brothers film. So there's there's some thought,
rivalry.
There's some thought that's Warner Brothers like trying to get one over on him. And it ends up making both movies incredibly successful, and a lot of people, and I think I even did that. I watched Barbie on the high seas that day too. I watched Oppenheimer just because you could. I was like, let me see if I can. So a lot of people
it's like when your ex gets with someone else just to make you jealous, but that someone else isn't as good, but also very different. Barbie was good, but it was
it was really not good. Just our boy.
Shut up, Craig.
Ryan Gosling.
Womanizer or communist? Which one's worse? I want to know.
Ryan Gosling is amazing in that movie, and amazing in Blade Runner 2049. Bring it back to that. And in
the podcast of needlessly glazing Blade Runner.
It's true. We should do a rewatch of that. To bring Corey on and make him watch it again.
Just for Corey. He hasn't even seen it. Jerk.
Do like a live watch. We'll do a live commentary of Blade Runner. Both of them. We'll tape his eyes
I don't know
open.
if I could be in the same room as Corey while watching Blade Runner. That's sacrilegious to me. If he's going to make fun of it, I can't have that.
No, you can't have that. Anyway.
Holy crap,
we've gone on and on and on.
Weird episode.
Hey, thanks for sticking around if you have. I really appreciate it. But if you do want to connect with us, you can find us on X, Instagram, Facebook. Email us at readingbetweenreels@gmail.com, or you can use the SpeakPipe app on our website. Leave us a voicemail. If you enjoyed the show, please like, follow, subscribe. Be sure to leave us a 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify.
And let us know which is worse, a communist or a womanizer.
Feel free. We'll take it. That sounds good. You thought this episode was nuts. Our next episode is going to be a little crazy. We're taking a little break from film deconstructions next time. And what we're going to do is we're going to build the perfect movie. Justin and I have been talking about this a little bit. Yep. The casting, genre, director, the whole deal. We're going to have some special guests, some really strong opinions. At least one choice is going to make somebody pretty upset, I'm pretty sure. But it should be a lot of fun. So be on the lookout for that. It's going to get messy.